Ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between that, welcome on into the video. I have had something that I've been obsessed with recently, and I have to get off my chest by talking about it in front of a camera, so alas, sit down, buckle up. We're gonna talk about the Poohniverse. What? I want to take y'all back in time just for a moment, so hop in your TARDIS, crank it to 11, we're gonna go all the way back to the archaic age of 2022. I know, it hasn't been that long, but a lot has happened since then. I mean, to put it into perspective, this is the exact same year that Elon Musk was finalizing his plans to purchase Twitter.com and turn it into the digital incarnation of Philadelphia after winning or losing a Super Bowl. And also, to add more onto that, this is the exact same year that Will Smith decided to baptize Chris Rock's face with all 5 of his favorite fingers after making one too many bald jokes about his wife. And if this year couldn't get any more culturally impactful, it's also the same year I started posting videos on this beautiful red website, so you can thank 2022 for my ugly mug. But I would say the most important thing that came out of that period of 365 days, in fact, I would say it's the most important thing that's come out of our species as a whole on this blue and green little marble in space, is the end of the copyright for that little yellow bear, Winnie the Pooh. Yes, there was a whole thing that went down that year where the copyright for Winnie the Pooh dissolved, and so due to that, people could do whatever they want with him. He entered the public domain, and what do you do when you have a new thing in the public domain that you can squeeze for money? You make a shitty horror movie, of course, which is where we got Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. An absolute garbage fire that I couldn't keep my eyes off of because it looks horrible. Look at this. They done leather-faced my Pooh Bear. You can't have shit in the 100-acre woods. Like, what is that? You were trying to convince me that that is the Pooh Bear? Okay, buddy. Like, the two things that I remember the most from that movie, the parts that stick out to me, are one being, they ate Eeyore. They cannibalized my little boy, as well as the sledgehammer scene in the pool. It's even in the trailer, where the girl fell in the pool with Piglet chasing her down with a sledgehammer, and instead of going to the left or the right to get out of the very long pool, she decides to crawl along the water until eventually being brutally murdered by a sledgehammer. Which, honestly, at that point, that's natural selection. I don't even feel bad. But of course, as much as I'd love to dedicate an entire video to this movie, I wanted to talk more about what this movie created, the movement that it started. Because while the movie had glistening ratings on IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes with a staggering 30%, it still managed to sprout into something beautiful, is what I would say if it's a liar, but it sprouted into something alright. It sprouted into the Twisted Childhood universe, run by Jagged Edge Productions, with the head of this entire program going by the name of Rise Frake Waterfield. So now I know who to blame for all of this. You're in danger. Just kidding. I actually honestly think this is pretty cool, because with this budget that came from the first movie, because people were all curious as to how you would turn it into a horror movie, barely is the answer, they managed to take that money and turn it into something actually salvageable. Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2 came out with a 4.7 out of 10 on IMDb, compared to the 2.5 on IMDb with the first one. But they did take the suits and improve upon them, making it look like instead of something they got from the nearest Party City, rest in peace by the way, they actually got a makeup department and threw something together that looks kind of scary, and added Tigger and Owl to the production as well. So they genuinely did add more to it. In fact, they plan to make a third as well. The fandom wiki does a good job of covering most of this, but it talks about the fact that Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3 is incoming and potentially going to drop in 2026. So watch it. That's a threat. But a lot of interesting things that they wanted to add to this actually sound kind of cool. They plan to potentially bring Eeyore back as a zombie, which I don't know how you bring him back after you eated him, but I guess they could try their best, as well as potentially bringing back other characters that died as Heffalumps and Woozles. Remember those? That was my introduction to cosmic horror back in my childhood years. Thanks, Disney. I appreciate the nightmares. However, enough talking about what could be. We're going to talk about what it already is. Peter Pan, the boy who never ages, except for in this movie where he's an old man who kidnaps children. There is a Peter Pan movie called Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. It's a movie about Wendy Darling. Remember her? Yeah, she wants to save her brother after she was kidnapped by a serial killer that goes by the name of Peter Pan. Isn't that creative? And of course, he has a sidekick named Tinkerbell, who instead of pixie dust, does heroin. We're really cooking with this one. If the meal is crack. The movie itself seems to be a spin on Stephen King's It and the Black Telephone movie, which is honestly a really, really good movie. The one where Ethan Hawke goes around kidnapping children and hiding them in a basement, and then there's a supernatural aspect to it because he wants to sacrifice these children to send them to Neverland. This is not me spoiling the movie. This is all in the trailer. So, of course, that's an interesting concept, and honestly, not that far off from the original movie, because, like, be real, this guy is kidnapping people. It's the only thing that makes it not as creepy is that Peter Pan is young, so it doesn't look as creepy, but he is going to somewhere where they don't age, so he technically has the maturity of an adult. So, I mean, yeah, I see the vision. I can see how it has a better rating than the Winnie the Pooh franchise, because That shit was basically just Five Nights at Freddy's mixed with Leatherface. But of course, this Twisted Childhood universe is going to become so much more than just a few movies. I'm actually kind of excited to see them all come out, and I might even cover a few of them in the future when they do release, because I found a fandom wiki talking about the entire thing, and oh my god, is the plan huge. There's, of course, the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey, Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 2, and Peter Pan's Neverland Nightmare. These have already come out. Then we also have things like Bambi the Reckoning, Pinocchio Unstrung, Poohniverse Monsters Assemble, which I found a picture of the logo for the Poohniverse, and I can almost smell the lawsuit coming from Disney. How is that not literally just the Avengers logo? They literally even put the tip of the A on the P, which makes no sense whatsoever, and the little circle around it, and it's red. Literally, put this on the screen next to the Avengers logo, and then tell me that Disney isn't about to drop a lawsuit the size of a nuclear bomb on top of this company. Maybe. I don't know. I wish them luck. I'm all anti-corporation, so I think this is hilarious, but the potential is there, and it is dangerous. There's also other movies planned, which they broke it up into phases just like Marvel, with Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey 3, Tigger's Return, Alice and the Mad Hatter, Awakening Sleeping Beauty, Snow White Returns, okay, Tinkerbell, which I guess she's getting her standalone, Untitled Peter Pan Neverland Nightmare sequel, and then, of course, Mary Poppins, Tarzan's coming in there somewhere, and then there's a few other canceled projects, like they plan to mix in both Sherlock Holmes and Thor. I don't see how they could have done that without being murdered. I mean, I get that, like, the Norse god is probably far from copyrighted because he is, like, part of mythology. He probably lost his copyright about a few thousand years ago, but I don't think that you can just throw together a Thor movie. I don't know how you could make it not look like it's from Disney. I mean, with that Poohniverse logo, it clearly seems like they're trying to rattle the bee's nest just a little bit, so I can see the vision. But now let's take a look into what is going to be. I want to look at the Bambi Reckoning trailer as well as the Pinocchio Unstrung trailer, because I'm genuinely curious, and I also haven't watched them fully yet because I wanted to get a fresh reaction with you guys. So I'm just going to play the first one, this one being the Bambi the Reckoning trailer, so here we go, along for the ride. Yippee! Uh-oh. Is he okay? Does this hurt him? What is the point of shooting a bird strapped to a tree?
You ever shot a deer?
Well, that's not a deer, so...
Have you?
Too bad.
Yeah. Once.
Why are they so suspenseful about it? Oh, the lever action, baby. Let's go. Never mind. Base movie. What the fuck? What the average production YouTube? Who are you? All right, the notification left. Let's go back to this. That was it. That was. What the fuck? Okay. Does that hurt the car? So apparently the entire idea of this film is that it's going to follow Zaina and Benji, and they're going to meet a murderous zombie deer named Bambi. Now, I don't know why these deer is a zombie, if the whole idea is it's pissed off because its mom died. I guess it's just a more like a John Wick kind of vibe. I can see the vision, but I don't know how Bambi died as well, and if so, how he came back. But I guess we'll figure that out when things come around. They also apparently plan to add zombie rabbits like Thumper, but apparently that got taken out, I assume, because, other copyright issues. I don't really know where that could have gone. Maybe the whole idea is they're probably basing this off the book, because the movie isn't 95 years old, but the book definitely is. So they were able to get the copyright for that. Maybe Thumper was just added with the movie. That probably is what happened, actually. And now we have Pinocchio Unstrung. We'll watch the trailer and then read a little bit about this fandom wiki. let's dig in. I'm curious. I'm hungry. When make you fear.
Visit that camp.
Was that almost... Hello? Hi, Editor Evan just popping in real quick. I just want to let you know that this is actually not the real trailer. We'll see, though. You'll actually slowly see me recognize that as it plays, but I wanted to let you know just so you don't leave the video like this guy's bullshitting me, because don't worry, I got bullshitted on too. I should have realized when Make You Fear came on the screen. Like, whoever made this video has the articulation of a brain-damaged kindergartner. And I was like, oh, maybe it's the real thing. Okay, yeah, sure, buddy.
He is insane.
There's no way any of those words were coherent.
Whichever you want.
Oh.
We'll put the rest in the freezer.
Dude, they just they just cut him off. That was from the Peter Pan trailer. Was that from the Peter Pan?
Bring it, Nicky
This isn't real. There's no way. I might have the wrong video. Do I have the wrong video? It was made by FNAF Man World 20. Okay, give me a second. I think I might have just been swindled. All right, so it appears I have, in fact, been lied to, which kind of blows my mind. I looked up the trailer, and I got official trailer right here in the thumbnail, and the internet has never lied before, so I'm shocked. But I saw this one as well, and this even has the card for Jagged Edge Productions. It says right here, like, oh, look, it did it. But it literally is just a zoom out of a cartoon that says, like, we brought you Winnie the Pooh. Oh, we're gonna bring you Bambi. Oh, look at his face. It's scary looking. Oh, whoa. Let's go look at the Wikipedia. I can't believe this. Okay, so after taking a moment to read the synopsis for what this movie is going to be, it looks like they're just trying to adapt Avengers Age of Ultron into a Pinocchio movie. Because after giving it a quick read, you know what? Read along with me. A young boy named James visits his grandfather Geppetto, whatever your name is, to introduce him to a seemingly magical wooden puppet named Pinocchio. That's the guy. To become best friends. However, unaware of Pinocchio's naive nature, as James introduces him to the world, it results in the puppet going on a crusade to eliminate all bad things. So, Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, very little has come out about this movie so far, aside from the fact that there will in fact be a whale that eats them at some point in the movie, kind of like in the animated film. However, I have to say, I will riot if there is not a single kill in the movie where he lies, his nose gets long, and he kills someone with it. That would be dope as shit. Like, I actually need to see that happen. And of course, all this leads up to the last movie that is confirmed to release within at least a year or two. Maybe even this year, if you're lucky enough. It is the Poohniverse Monsters Assemble, which there is literally nothing about this movie out right now, aside from the fact that there will in fact be Poohniverse creatures in it from the Poohniverse. Isn't that going to be fun? All this is going to be quite the adventure, and honestly, I'm not opposed to the idea of doing little movie review videos on each one as they release. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be opposed on going back through the old Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movies and the Peter Pan movie and doing reviews on those as well. I don't make movie review videos, but I am obsessed with them, and I watch them all the time, so I understand the structure and would love to make one if you guys would be down to watch it. Just let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear what you guys think, because honestly, there isn't always news to yap about, but there will always be horrible movies to point and laugh at, so could be a fun way to pivot this channel in the future, but we'll see where I go from here. Thank you for being outstanding. Thank you for sticking with me through this completely directionless video. I just wanted to yap about something I was obsessed with recently. So, thank you, and as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, good night, and I'll see you in whatever I make next. If it's a movie review, news, or maybe Kanye back on Twitter, because he's back! I'll see ya. Okay, bye.